You get what I mean?
Dude, plenty.
For there to sustain the bar life. You know what I mean?
Dude, those bitches feel like they're like the life of the party. Yeah. And they kind of are, bro.
And to be honest, they are what drives the money, bro.
Yeah, dude. That's
why bitches getting free some places.
No, definitely, because they're gonna make the profit go. They're gonna make the money turn, the business run, dude. And that's why it's hard for bitches to let go of that, because for like a brief moments at night, they're like celebrities. They're like more than human. Every guy is trying to get them.
There's never a time where I feel like oh wow, goddamn! I had to make myself be the greatest.
Exactly, you have to be a celebrity. You have to be great. That's what Patrice O'Neal said. He was like, this motherfucker had to be in Cloverfield to be on the same level as her. All she had to do was have a pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's true. It's very true. I think that's the power of it. You get what I mean?
Yes, that's the power of vagina, bro. And it is a power, because that shit not just feels fucking bomb as fuck. It's not just like connected to this beautiful fucking being of fucking sex and desire. It makes people, bro. Yeah, it's literally that's the reason value, why, bro.
Like that's the biggest thing. Like, because one guy can impregnate hundreds of girls. Yeah, and then life just keep going. And then as long as there's enough of those one guys so that there's not incest or anything, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? If there's just enough of those, like, you know what I mean? So there doesn't need to be every guy when there needs to be every woman. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Women are like if men and women were like, you know, copper and gold, you know, like their materials and shit, women would be a more valuable material.
Yeah. Which makes sense, because even just naturally the way we feel, you know what I mean? Like, oh, women and children first, you know what I mean? Like, like just naturally that's the way we feel.
Because you know, like
but then that what that evolved to, that natural feeling of, oh, we want women. In a corporation society, you know what I mean? Yeah. In a capitalistic society, there's someone who's gonna want to capitalize on that, and then that's when they make these diamond, you know, these jewelry places, you know what I mean? It's not a guy who wants the jewelry. It's for the woman, you get what I mean?
Victoria's Secret was made by a man, you know, so women could spend money on the idea of beauty, because they feel like they have to be beautiful.
Makeup.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like all these lucrative industries, it's very female driven, you know what I mean? And then it's the men who, I'm not saying it's only the man, but like men will also buy that shit, but not for us. You know what I mean? We're buying it still. You know what I mean?
Put yourself in the mentality where like emotion is so strong that it overtakes logic. Yeah. Like you're like, oh, I know I shouldn't do this, but I got to do. You
don't see women buying men like, oh, I bought you belts. I bought you shoes just because I know that, you know what I mean?
Well, you know you need them, yeah.
I know you need, you know what I mean? It's like, no, usually it's like, oh, you like this jewelry. Oh, it looks really nice on me. Oh, here, I'll buy it for you. You know what I mean? I know you'll like it.
Yeah, man, fuck.
You know, because girls, they don't have to buy guy shit in order to get with, you know, the natural, you know.
Oh yeah, the girls, they don't gotta shower guys with gifts to like get laid and shit. Guys have to like, you know, take girls out on a dinner. They gotta take them out in the town.
And then the thing is that you can't do too much for them, because then they're like, oh, he's trying too hard. That's the it's a very balanced game.
You gotta balance.
I don't know if you ever played Tony Hawk, and when you're doing a manual, you have to be like, you have to get it right in the middle, right? You can't be too much on the bottom or too much on the top, or else you'll fall. That's what it is.
I like how the advice for most people is like, oh, just be cool. It's like, what does that mean, be cool? Does that mean less, or does that mean more?
It just means, because the best possibility is if you're yourself. Yeah. Because they can tell if you're trying to be something.
Exactly, be yourself.
But then, what if they don't like who you are, your natural self?
You gotta be something else.
No. You gotta just fuck it.
You gotta say, fuck it. That's not
especially like, I feel like that was easier to learn in LA. I remember like
so many women.
Like there was a day where I was just like, you know what, like you know, I'm feeling good. You know, I got a good haircut. You know, I was just like on the train, just saying hello to girls. You know, saying hello.
That is good for
and then
LA,
trying to get a girl's number.
Conversation.
And then, you know, a lot of no's, you know what I mean? But then those yeses, bro, feels like fucking magic,
feel
bro.
like thunder, bro.
They feel like magic,
dude. Because there's like this stare when a girl's interested in you. It's like her eyes kind of go down a little bit, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
She like smiles,
and then
at you,
that's
like,
their cue
smile.
for you to go up to talk to them. You get me?
Exactly.
Like, if not, then all it is that they just gave you a look, and then that's it. Never like who know? Like, she has no clue what could have been. You get what I mean? That's why, like if a guy goes up to her, you get me? It changes the entire life. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. LA is a good place to like practice,
to get that practice in.
Chicks,
yeah.
Especially SRO, man.
Yeah, dude, SRO is my favorite, bro.
Dude,
and you know what? You know what's awesome is because in your head you're talking to these beautiful women, right? These girls, but that's not how they look all the time. That's how they look SRO ready. In the way I was dressed back then, SRO ready, right? You dress up, nice pants, you know what I mean, button up shirt, you know, you're dressed slick, you know, you're looking good. So it was like you look good, and you're surrounded by people who look good, and in your head you're like, damn, like you're picking up on them.
Yeah.
I remember, dude, there's this one Indian guy, like some skinny Indian kid who was talking to this white girl, right? And she wasn't the like crazy good looking. But to me, what I saw, I was like, "Oh, that's beautiful."
Like,
you know what I mean?
I saw a man going to America, finding the dream, shining the dream, bro.
The white lake. You know what I mean?
Everybody knows that every fucking buddy from a brown country comes to America and hopes,
bro. Seriously, and that's what I thought, dude. Because he had a book with him, right? And he wasn't reading that book no more, and it was crazy because you could see the way she was looking at him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, cause he would turn away to like blah blah, and then she just look at him, and I remember just seeing that and being like, my boy. I want to like literally just go up to him and be like, you're already there, bro. Just know that you're already there, and just continue living like as if you already got it, because you already have. It's just in the future. You get what I mean?
Man, like, I'll be honest with you, like, those Indian guys be like, hell yeah, so white girl, and those girls, white girls be like, well, I haven't tried Indian in a long time.
Yeah,
I haven't tried Indian in a while.
But that's the thing, because with some like white girls, like, they're not like that good looking, but like I said, they go to SRO, they look their best selves. You get me?
Yeah.
And then in their head, because they're still like, oh, you know, I'm still not good looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they look at like Latina bitches.
All we see is we're like, oh, you look all right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not knowing that that's you at your best. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all right is pretty good enough.
But all right is like, especially if we're just right there and we're not doing anything else. The SRO is like, it reminded me of school a little bit, because there was so many people around, and you recognize certain people, and certain people, you kick it with them afterwards and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Because the way like dudes find girls attractive is like how they look. The way girls find dudes attractive is like what they do. Yeah, exactly. That's such a complicated thing. You know, you gotta know somebody. For like us, it was just like, oh shit, like she's bomb, she's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be honest, I feel like the way we approach like a mate is way more humane, bro. Way more humane, because we don't gotta fucking do tricks. You know what I mean?
We don't put
we just like what we see, exactly.
Yeah. But then that's it, because sometimes it is like that though. Sometimes like a girl, well, I guess maybe because when they're younger, right? Like, you tell a girl you like her, and then she likes you, and then no matter what you are, like a woman would ride with her man.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Bitches are ride or dies. You get me? Yeah, bitches are ride or die.
That's the thing. But not at first. You have to get them to that point.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So where they look at you like they're like, oh, I'll do anything for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that's when they love you. So the women's love is strong. The women's love is hella strong, bro. Nothing more strong in this world than a woman's love, I feel. That's why motherfuckers try to market off women.
Yeah.
Because they know once they get that love, they buy the product.
Yeah, man. That's true. That's so funny, bro.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like...
That's what Disney does.
If you know the basic humans, like, the way we react to certain things, you know what I mean? You'll know what to do, you know what I mean? That's why, like, back then they used to do, like, very loud and very, like, extravagant, but like bright lights and shit to catch your attention. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like whoa. Until now we're just so used to it where it doesn't have that same effect. But back then that used to be like the huge fucking thing. You know what I mean?
So you think like marketing is kind of shaping human evolution?
Yeah, I think like because they're in their head they're trying to get us to want something. You get me? To like something.
Yeah.
And then now we're just used to it. Like. And I bet you advertising, like, when it first came around, people hate that shit, you know what I mean? Like, especially, and then now the way it is, like, it's literally, like, in your computer, like, when you're on the computer, like, there's advertisements everywhere. everywhere. Well,
in the 50s,
and you're just so used to it now. You're just literally just like you don't even notice that there's advertising. Oh yeah, there's Ford right there. I didn't even notice. You know what I mean?
In the 50s, they got the advertisement companies got like their inspiration and shit from like propaganda from World War II.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying is like all these corporations, like the food companies, were jealous of the drugs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because of people had that craveability factor. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, so they wanted food more addictive.
Yeah, that's what they wanted. They wanted people to want food the way people want drugs. You know what I mean?
Dopamine.
And so then that's why they're, you know,
all these sugars and shit.
Yeah, like let's find out what triggers these people. You know what I mean?
Like sweets, like
that lemony goodness, bro, from fucking Mediterranean salad, bro. That's what brings me back, bro. Dude, the lemony zestiness, bro. I remember watching that fucking shit, bro. And that shit smells so fucking dang.
And I'd be like, let me just wash that pan, please.
I was like, please
let me wash that one pan.
No, you're done. Like, no,
you don't work here no more, Toby.
No,
you must stop working here,
Toby. No.
Be gone, Toby. Be gone. Be gone, Toby. But yeah, man, women are like, yeah. I remember when I was hanging out with the last group of people, it's mostly like chicks and shit. Honestly, it was mostly. Yeah. It was the first time I hung out with a group of like mostly girls. To be honest, like there's like
that's
one or
two guys. That's a very interesting dynamic. Because I feel like girls, they're not. They feel like girls are very worried about people's opinions. You get what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like they feel that even with themselves. While guys, they act a certain way when girls are around. But then as soon as the girl's not there, they're themselves. You know what I mean?
I feel like girls are, well, some girls are just like, they want when they want to like bulldoze over people. Yeah. They'll bulldoze over people. You know what I mean? Yeah. More easier than a guy.
It's probably that same thing. Like they're used to just getting things the way, like, you know what I mean? Man. And because you can't like you're not allowed to be disrespectful to women in certain you know what I mean. I remember I had this coworker, right, and like she worked there and her boyfriend worked there, and she was getting an argument with this one guy, and you know, like I'm just there standing, and like she's just shouting, and then I mentioned something like about how she because she was complaining about you know, like, oh, and I asked you to do this, and you're saying that, oh, we just got here, whatever. And I was like, well, you guys did just get here, you know what I mean? And she was like, oh, now you're, you know, like taking it out on me, and on, you know, the whole thing. Oh, you're not allowed to have an opinion, but I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not gonna have my opinion, you know. But then her boyfriend was telling me to not to just not say anything. Yeah, then I'm like, look, bro, I'm not saying anything, but the thing is that you can't tell me to not talk
when you're allowed.
I'm not your girlfriend. You get me? You should be telling her to not talk because to you know, like, not create a problem or just whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you can't expect me, you know, because we're not anything. You know what I mean? Exactly. Nothing to you. We're just coworkers.
I'm a man, bro. Yeah.
And like her big thing is like you know what they're used to, like, oh, like he'll fight for her. You know what I mean?
Like, we'll fight for that bitch.
Yeah, like, and then I was like, look, bro, it's like, if you're gonna fight me for this, then we'll fight. But I ain't gonna fight because I'm gonna keep my job. You get what I mean? And then
you could swing at me,
yeah,
bro.
and then like she was so I remember because they kept saying but she's a woman, so like. And in my head, I was like, look, bro, I was like, she's not acting like a lady, right? I was
like, bro, this ain't a fucking Disney cartoon.
I was like, literally, look, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing me talking calm. I'm seeing you guys talking calm. And I'm seeing one person acting erratic, and that's her. And you're telling me to be calm, and you're just not saying anything.
That's when that douche
with her being erratic. You get what I mean? But then, and I said, I was like, and I told the guy, I was like, look, man, this is your girl. She's acting very foolish, acting like a child. That would embarrass me if that was my girl.
You know what that is, man?
You know what I mean?
That was that
I definitely
woman.
Wouldn't let her talk like that.
That was a woman just pleading for a stronger man. She was pleading for a man, be like, listen, shut the fuck up. We're going to talk about this when we get home. Just act like sense and shit.
The thing is that because he was trying to also calm her down, but she would, you know what I mean? Like, she was so, she's allowed to yell, and no one's allowed to even have a conflicting point of view. Because I wasn't yelling back, because when people are acting erratic, if you act erratic, it just looks like two fools, you know what I mean? Exactly. You know, but if you're talking calm and she's acting crazy, then they're losing. It's obvious
who's the winner.
Yeah, exactly. So I just talked calm, and then I was like, look, bro, I was like, you're telling me to not say anything. Bro, look how calm I'm talking. You should be telling that to her.
What job was this?
This was at Santa Monica when I was just working at valet. This was like,
I think you told me about this.
Yeah. That's why. And I was like, they kept telling me to not say anything, and to like he was like, bro, chill, come on, like, dude, she's a lady. And I'm like,
well, you need to act like a fucking man.
And I was like, that doesn't mean anything to me. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
I was like, respect goes both ways to me. She's not respecting me. She's not saying, you know what I mean?
She's looking for a stronger man. She's looking for someone that she shuts up around.
But that's the thing, is that I think like a lot of like black women feel like they also have to play the masculine role of, like, you know what I mean, being the aggressor, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then also, especially, it doesn't help that if no one's telling them to not yell, you know what I mean? And telling the other people who aren't yelling to not say anything to provoke you, you know what I mean?
That's a culture thing. That's
the thing I would be like is, don't let yourself get provoked by such little things.
Here's the thing about the black community,
because that's not going to do you well.
The black community is, I hate to say this, but they're a chess piece, bro. They're a political chess piece, bro. That's all the political parties.
And the thing is that if you break out of that chess piece, then you're an Uncle Tom. You know what I mean?
That's slavery, bro.
That is what it is. Because there's people who are like, you know what? Nah, fuck that identity shit. Even if they never like actually struggle with it, because there are people who, like, because they're black, their life is harder. You get what I mean? You know, but then if you let yourself like that be the, like, instead of taking responsibility or being like, oh, that's how it is, so what can I do to get out of it, or what can I do? And you just blame it on stuff and be like, well, that's just the way it is. Then you're gonna get stuck in it. You know what I mean?
I may not agree with AC a lot of things, but he said this one thing that I do agree with. He was like, it's that argument that, like, hip hop kind of glorified like a style of life that was self-destructive. You know, that was like, they're showing the problems of a ghetto, but it was also like putting glamour, killing other people that just like live blocks away from you. You know what I mean? Like,
no, that's true.
And like everyone, like Philly, like everyone else was like, "Whoa, these are just stories." Like, yeah, but you know, there's certain effect that a story does like to a person. But see, morality comes from stories.
Like J. Cole stories, you get me? Where they don't have to be fucking all like, you know, about like the thuggish nature of it, more of just the life nature. That's why I like, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain songs where it's just about a moment in life, not necessarily like a thug, about bitches or live like what you gotta do in the streets, you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, the reason why I say that is because what we find popular is really just advertised by record labels, you know what I mean? So the messaging and the morals we get are really just like propagated by a record label, because music is culture.
I feel like pharmaceutical companies are putting money into music in order for all these, like,
private prisons are too, man. Private prisons are too.
And you think
private prisons are too, man.
I never thought about that.
Private prisons make money off of the inmates, off the people they incarcerate. Yeah. So if they incarcerate a certain population, then they make money off that population while keeping them enslaved. It's slavery, man.
But drug culture, like with pills, right?
Oh yeah, pill culture. That's too, man. Like, that as well.
You don't hear about pills in the 90s. You hear about weed and shit, which makes sense because that's when they would lock people up for weed. So they're like, let's make weed super popular, right? In the most popular states, let's make it popular,
man,
and illegal. Man, you know what I mean?
This is an open world, bro. Like, it's not just one industry that wants something. You know, it's like it could be a pharmaceutical, private prisons. It could be a bunch of shit, bro.
It's all of the above, bro. Yeah. It's like all the corporations, they're like the five families. You know what I mean?
It's a mafia shit.
They are the mafia that runs everything, bro.
Exactly. And they fuck up free trade for everyone. That's why everything's all fucked up.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And then they give us the false dream where it's like, oh, you know, start a business and start a job, and maybe one day you could be like this.
You won't ever compete against them. The taxes won't be able to compete. Be like that, the
like
prices,
people like Jeff Bezos, where it's like 1 out of a billion people was able to make something new because the internet was new. You get me?
Like, the first ones,
he wouldn't have been able to do. Yeah, he was just the first one, like the mogul, the one who was able to capitalize off of it. But unless something as big as the internet or airplanes or radios or TV, unless something as big as that comes out,
that's true.
There's no one that's gonna come. Like, the only reason why Andrew Carnegie became big was because railroads. If the railroads weren't big, steel would not have been as big of a company as it would have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only because only one
innovations
out
of technology,
billions and billions, trillions, one out of trillions of people gets to benefit and actually get the riches because of the next what happens next,
like
in society.
The billions of riches. And then with that money, they're able to like fucking they're able to fucking invest into other businesses like SpaceX or whatever, like Blue Moon, Jeff Bezos and shit. Yeah, man.
Exactly. That's the only way to become this like super rich, like electric cars. You get me? So you get what I mean? Like once Ford came around, no one was able to compete as much as Ford did. General Motors had to come together, which was a bunch of different car companies to compete with the single car company.
That's why college kids have to be have to have the entrepreneur mindset, because those kids have the ability, they're in the institution, they have the opportunity to come up with the next thing. But no, their mindset is all self-destruct. It's a broke mindset. Somebody made millions of dollars selling them a broke mindset.
See, Steve Jobs, right, alone, right, at the Apple company makes more than any individual fucking Android device. You get what I mean? They make so much money. And see, that's what I mean. Just one guy was able to capitalize on the new invention of a smartphone. You get me? I remember seeing Android commercials and being like, fucking phones can't do that. And now they do.
But it's not just that one guy benefiting. Like, that one guy also creates, opportunities for other people to make money. Like, he makes like jobs for like people who get like 6 figures,
yes,
7 figures.
That is true.
But the thing is, they rip off the regular labor workers by having the manufacturing like operation made somewhere else. So like the labor force, all they do, they just push boxes or they sell shit.
We're like a hive.
Exactly.
We have worker bees.
Exactly.
Right? There are people who like to work. I remember when I was working in a factory, when I was taking apart the everything and doing like using my muscles and wow, dude, this warehouse is empty now. Yeah. Because we emptied everything has moved to a new house.
There's some pride to that.
We did that.
Yeah, exactly.
I was only getting paid minimum, but I remember being like, bro, that's what I did. There are people who do like that, especially when I was young too. You know what I mean? And so, you know what I mean? Like, those minimum wage should be for the young workers. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's like this. We're a beehive, but we get our pollen from a different fucking hive. Yes. From a China hive.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like the queen bee of our hive, she's the one that's really getting all the honey.
She's like, well, and giving us a drop of honey.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just little slivers of honey and being like, hey.
Instead of going out, getting the pollen ourselves and bringing it back to the bee and having more pollen for all of us, you know?
And then because of that, dude, we were making pollen for other hives.
And we got to give pollen back to the pollen that gave us, like, got to give honey back to the bee that gave us honey and shit. And, like, all the other bees that we agreed to protect and shit.
Yeah, bro.
It's like we have nothing for our bees.
When it comes to the world, they just see us as police. Yeah. And everyone hates the police. You know what I mean? Hates the police. Fuck the police, right? And so, if we're the cops, that's why we make enemies. And that's the reason why we weren't supposed to get in affairs, outside of our own country.
I mean, look at the war in the Middle East, bro. Yeah. Who would, like, if terrorism were to spread, who would be affected the most? The European countries, bro. The European country would be affected.
Anybody who has the backs of them, because they're like, what are you going to do? You're going to kill the Reinhardt, or are you going to kill the Mercy? You know what I mean? You're going to kill the Mercy that's supporting the soldier. You know what I mean? You got to kill that. You got to kill that healer. And then you're able to take out the thing. That's how they see it.
But it's like the Overwatch team is all American. We're defending the payload, which is like all Europe, you know. Yes, yeah. And they're giving us like some like special force, but like it's not 100% American. They're not putting the money in, you know. They're not putting the same amount, dude. Like Europe, there's no Europe army that's as strong as Russia, that's as strong as North Korea, that's as strong as China, bro. We are stronger than all of them. They need to. They should catch, like. They need to pay us up, bro.
That's the thing, because this free market did create the best of everything.
It creates abundance. But you go to a supermarket, it's the most beautiful thing in the fucking world, bro.
That's what made this one guy quit when the USSR was still the USSR.
Yeah.
Okay, he quit. I forgot what, like, the one high, like, level position, because he came to America, right? And he had to go use the restroom, like, randomly, just real quick. Ooh, gotta take a piss. And he went to a market, and he saw the market, bro.
He went down the street and was like, "Is this a fucking fool? Are they fooling us?
What the fuck? Fruits piled up, all, you know what I mean? Like, the way it looks." And he was like, he would understand if it was like a planned thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But this was an unplanned stop, because he was used to USSR.
Exactly.
Doing
everybody getting in lines. Yeah, he was getting their shit.
He was used to them doing the fake, like, oh, look at our stuff.
Exactly.
Look at our abundance.
Yeah,
but
just to win the Cold War. Yeah.
Like the way North Korea does now.
Exactly. It's all Cold War, because Cold War is basically, because if you can't attack each other, then you got to, in order to use media. Exactly. In order to invade, you have to influence the people. So the people would want your ideas instead of, the mainland's ideas. That's why Japan, ancient land Japan, didn't let you sell anything in Japan. Nothing. They would kill you if you sold shit, because they saw like your culture is infiltrating their culture.
Yeah. Bro, that last hit I took right now was a fucking good ass hit. Crazy how the end of the backwood fucking smacks.
And I'm telling you that, cause that communism thing, like people think like Sweden is socialism because they got socialized programs. That's just socialized programs. That's not socialism. Yeah. The government doesn't control everything. They're still a free market, Yeah. It's just that, they don't have they're not the military body of NATO, so they don't have to put all their taxes into fucking.
It's more of that. I guess when you know that your money's not going straight to the military, you're more willing to put your money, because it's going straight to
and what
hospitals.
And what does exactly. You know
what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking like just fucking all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Schooling.
Exactly.
They even have, like, if you're unemployed, right, for whatever reason, they give you a certain amount of money in between. They give you money to go to school too.
Exactly. That's tax money.
They give you money for kids to go to school.
Exactly. And not only
that, so that they're incentivized to stay in school.
And not only that, bro. They pay for the paychecks of all those bureaucrats, of everybody working at government offices. That on top of that military pile, bro, dude, we're getting ripped the fuck up. And here's the thing: every socialist, fucking everybody, even Bernie Sanders, they never talk about the military or NATO. Maybe they do, but they always say like it goes to the billionaires, and he's right. Honestly, he's right, but he's not telling the whole story.
You know what I think about some of these politicians?
They all work together, bro.
Is that like Bernie Sanders and even like Andrew Yang? They only spoke about certain things,
but not the other side.
I think there's like thousands of things.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to sell a convenient idea for their constituents, for their market.
Who are like, oh, look, see, I'm good with foreign affairs. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's their only strong suit. You know what I mean? Like, there's people who like.
It's true. That's true.
There's no one person who's just like, yeah, man, dude, I'm great with this. I'm good with this. I believe this. I got this, man. Like, trust every single thing. And those people, people who are like that are people like Ben Shapiro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, I still wouldn't necessarily want that to be president. You know what I mean?
Because he's all right-wing Jew, huh?
Because it's just because it's just someone who's gonna want like super radical change. You know what I mean? And then it's not gonna be it's gonna be just more dividing. You know what I mean?
It's not gonna be uniting.
What we need united figures. And so what if their ideas aren't? It's the thing is that like Martin Luther King Jr. He just believed in humanity.
He believed like all people. Exactly. I think if there was a Democrat and a Republican running together, I think that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Instead of a Republican or a Democrat, just like a uniting front. Because honestly, politics are so divided. Like Democrats are so to the left, and Republicans are so to the right.
And then because the parties are changing too. It's not like it's even a consistent thing.
No, it's not.
Dude, the left wing party. There's people who don't even acknowledge like there's the crazy left. They finally acknowledge that there's a crazy left.
Dude.
Before they did it.
Yes, they did. They want to acknowledge it, bro, because
when they saw it, they're like, oh yeah, what about this?
Because they all had to unite against Trump.
Exactly.
They all had to unite against Trump. They didn't care if they're about the crazies. The crazies were good because they're on our side.
Crazy for that.
They're on our side.
But now
they didn't see that they're bad for the whole.
That they were just crazy.
They're just fucking crazy
people. Who no matter in what scenario you put them in,
they're just crazy.
They're crazy, and that's the thing is that our news was focused on only the crazy people. I feel there's
so the news works against us, bro.
So
mainstream news works against us.
I feel like if more people just watched rational conversation between people who disagreed, and at the end of the conversation still disagreed,
yes,
but like both points were actually able to be
heard both sides,
and they let each other talk about, I disagree with that because of this, and then people who believed in that. But they hear this point, they're like, oh, you know what? I used to believe in this I never realized that this was you know what I mean? Just now I understand. Even if I disagree with you, I understand where you're coming from.
People get paid to push certain political party ideas because the next year, bro, you're getting ready for the next election, which is the next 4 years, yes. Bro. They're getting, if they lost this election, they're just getting ready for the next one,
You think that's why, they're showing all the crazy left people? Because they want people to, the Republicans are already we got to get back the Republicans.
Hey, that's why the left showed the crazy right people.
They're trying to make it seem like everything's worse than it was back then, even though everything's kind of the same. It's just, nothing's too different.
I mean, yeah, nothing's it's just inflation's a little crazy.
It's crazy, but then at any moment something drastic could always be passed. Like that's how it was with the NAFTA bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that shit. It must seem like nothing. Like it doesn't affect me, but then it did affect. It did affect us.
It affect people's businesses.
Yeah. Like rural, they weren't even rural. They were fucking cities.
Yeah.
Became not cities. You know what I mean? We used to produce I think surfboards and shit like that. I forgot what state used to do that.
Yeah, man.
Now they don't make any of that.
It's cheaper to make skateboards in China than it is to make it here, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, man, it's really because the manufacturing was created somewhere else, and the economy continued with that momentum, so the labor people got ripped off, because instead of make shit, they just became movers. They could do something that an AI could do,
Yeah. And one thing that sucks, back then in the 80s, people would talk about, we were supposed to have they would talk about working less. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the 16-hour work week or whatever, or 20-hour work week where you only work 4 hours a day and you have all this leisure time. And because America is going to be so industrious in the future and so rich that we're going to have all this money and we're going to be able to spend it. So the money will still circulate in America. You get what I mean?
That would have happened if we had manufacturing here, because we would have made our shit here.
Exactly.
Because, dude, if we would have made our shit here, even the people lower down, they would have that manufacturing skill, so they would be able to go to pickup parts or Goodwill or whatever and make their own devices and make something crazy. You know what I mean?
It's just that
they would have been engineers almost. Engineering would have been a fundamental trait. You know what I mean? In America.
Yeah, and then
the skills
schooling would have been more important, because that used to be the leisure time back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Only people who didn't have to work were the philosophers. You know what I mean? Only people who didn't have
the thinkers
came up with these grand ideas and shit like that. You know what I mean? Or I shouldn't say just they were the ones that came up with it, but they were the ones that were able to put it down and say it to someone who actually was able to do something about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like was able to write it down in a book, that was read by people. You know what I mean?
I mean, people like that are still doing that. They're just pushing I don't know. I don't want to say propaganda. I feel I don't even know what propaganda.
There's so many books being put out now.
Yeah.
Because we live in the most literate time ever. You know what I mean?
And everyone
in the world is able to read and write.
Yeah, exactly.
I shouldn't say everyone, but more people are able to read and write than ever before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
I just think back to a time where people farm. My mom she comes from a ranch and shit.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah, dude.
Those motherfuckers, my uncles, all of them, they work.
They used to have to work early in the morning, bro. before the fucking thing came up and shit like that. Wait, I gotta answer this real quick.
Yeah, answer real quick.
Yo. Yo. We're smoking it backward. You know how that takes. Oh, you can always heat that. Dude, trust this pizza is bomb at any temperature, but I'll throw it in the oven for you. Don't worry, trust. Preheat that shit. All right, I won't. See you. No, I thought you were gonna get one. No, I don't have card. Oh. Oh, just use your card, and then I'll send you whatever it is to make the difference. I'll see you. All right. All right. Bye. Bye. It's fun.
Yeah, man. Just like I don't know what I did. Like I try to keep that work ethic of like, you know, just people had it so hard back then, bro. Yes. You know what I mean? Like people had it hard back then, bro.
Children had to work in factories, bro. There's this one like story I heard, right?
Like even before factories, bro. Like you know,
like in the fields, like
dude,
or hunting and shit.
Dude, people
dude, like we get to eat so beautifully.
Yeah,
from ingredients from around the world.
Around the world, dude. Exactly. You go to a grocery store and there's all these spices, bro,
from around
the world. You could make gourmet food for yourself every day, bro.
That's so what a blessing,
dude.
What a goddamn blessing.
This is a blessing, bro.
This is like we
live in like heaven, man.
Yeah, and we get to drive, bro.
We get to drive,
dude. If you were to tell someone 200 years ago, hey man, there's gonna be this fucking shit, bro. You're gonna be able to get around, dude, and you could go 60 miles per hour and be like, what?
Faster than a horse. Faster than the fastest horse,
bro. Faster than that. Faster than anything. You see these trains? Yeah, you think that's fast, bro? That's fast, but you know what, dude? Even faster.
And almost everyone's gonna have one.
We're gonna have vehicles that go even faster than that in the air.
I just
dude,
really,
if you tell that to somebody, they're gonna be like, dude, you're fucking stupid, bro.
I just really hate it because we do have something nice, but it's just being fucked up by a bunch of like stupid people in government and greedy motherfuckers. Yeah. You know what I mean? That just agree with people in government. You know?
Yeah.
Like.
That's the thing. Like, dude, imagine right now being one of them right now, like in your head, like you're there, like you're fucking you're just at home. You're at home, your wife and kids, and you're just like, you know, you just, we need to go. We need to drop some bombs over there. You know, you drop the bomb, and you're like, you know, some churches were there,
some innocent ass fucking
most
people.
Definitely some kids were there, because it's about the element of surprise. You know, and you know it, and you're like, you know, I'm gonna kiss your son. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's really
that's fucking nuts, bro. Like people who like they're like, oh fuck, man, yeah, dude, our product, they just killed a bunch of people. Yeah, fuck, I don't wanna pay off all these people. So I'm gonna try finding court. Give me good luck.
We gotta make it seem like it was their fault the whole time.
Yeah, we gotta blame it on them.
It was their fault. They should have done that certain thing that nobody knew. If only we knew. But they told us in the beginning. We even forgot. Yeah, man. Like people like that, like those companies should be fucking like the market should know. Stop buying them, and the next company that was trying to make it big, that was going to be like, we will never do that. We promise. Like,
there's people who you know what they do? They're just like, oh, we're going to Cancun. We're going to fucking this. We're going. I mean, yeah. We're going to Fiji right now. Oh, Fiji was so good last weekend.
Those people.
Dude, I remember fucking hearing that when I was at Santa Monica.
Fiji was so good.
Some bitch was talking about Fiji, bro, and how much fun she had.
I was like, that fucking whore.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly what I thought, bro. I was like, probably fucking traveling with your ex-man's money, you know what I mean? You were just in the world where there's just that much money and you got half of it. And now here you are going to fucking Fiji, bro. Taking your kids, fucking, and then the kids, I remember there was like fucking like 9-year-old, like 10-year-old kid, and he was wearing these fucking like expensive ass shoes that I liked. The ones, like I was like, oh bro, I was looking up those shoes, bro. You motherfucker, you're just weird.
I remember I felt the same way when I was working in not tomato pie, fucking clean and green. Like, I had to pick up, like, I had to break down all those fucking plants and shit in the middle of, like, Hollywood and shit, seeing all these fucking gorgeous ass women, fucking nice ass cars and shit.
And then they're just looking at you?
Looking at me like I was the help.
Yo, I hate that.
Like, you were the help. Yeah, like, you're nothing to talk to, you know? You're there to serve.
They don't even acknowledge you.
You know, like, I understand, like, serve, like, when like, you know, people serve you, you know, like, we all do it, we work, like, a little respect, you know, I respect.
I feel like waiters get the most, like, respect when it comes to, like,
yeah, because
just respect.
They're giving you your food, you know what I mean? Waiters do get a lot of respect. But, I don't know, man. I always feel like, you know, I believe, you know, paying someone for their service, you know, even if they did a good job, you know, give them a little extra, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, because then there's people doing that same job that don't put in the same amount of work. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Some people who deserve that extra $1 or $2 an hour.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Because that goes a long way.
That really does go a long way.
For people that, like, need money, man, that goes a long way, man. Like, a tip, bro, like.
Yeah, bro.
I just, I do feel like we've been ripped off, and it sucks because I feel like we're probably going the wrong direction than we should be going.
We are. I'm telling you, bro. People are already talking about trying to get paid $18 an hour. And I'm like, bro, you fucking half your ass cheeks, bro. That means that shit went up 125% because it used to be 8, right?
Yeah.
And then if it's 18, it's a whole 100%, 25% because it's another 2. And that's just fucking. That's too much. No, 175%, bro.
$18 an hour.
Yeah. No, 100. No, I was right. 125%.
That's what the lady told me. She was like, the poverty line is like $18,000.
Yeah.
And like that's like $15 minimum wage. And I was like, man, like if rent is like 2 G's.
Yeah, dude.
12,000.
That's already $24,000 a year.
Yeah.
If it's 2 G's, it's $24,000 a year. And if you're making 18, that's
you're not even paying for it. Yeah.
That's why they say California is impossible, like, to live in, right? And this is what I gotta say about it, right? Getting paid more isn't gonna do it because they're just gonna raise everything, bro. The rent is not getting lowered. The rent is not being, like, it's not the same either.
They gotta vote for different shit out. They gotta vote for lower property taxes. They gotta vote for fucking realtors to stop fucking, like, manipulating the market. They gotta vote for
it's just
a bunch of shit.
Dude, people want to become rich so much, you know? And it's like a lot of these people, they're like, once their shit gets bought, they kick out like apartments. They'll buy apartments. They'll kick out everybody in the apartment. They'll, like, paint it. Not really do much, you know what I mean? Fix, like, little shit. And then they'll, like, mad raise the rent and have new people come in there who are willing to pay that rent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They raise the value of that place. So, like, we could make more money here because the area's, like, fucking going higher and shit.
Yeah, and that's just terrible, man.
Yeah, it has to do with the businesses that
I really
we made
wish.
too.
This is how much I wish I paid for rent. I wish I paid between 600 and 800. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how much I wish it was.
That seems pretty reasonable.
You know what I mean?
600, $800.
Yeah, because, dude, you don't want it to be your entire. That means your entire life is literally just to have shelter,
a roof over your head. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that's why some people. That's why there's some people who choose to be homeless.
They're
you know
like,
what I mean?
fuck it, yeah.
Because then it really is like, bro, I'm literally working just to get a roof over my head.
I'm pretty sure some people be like, listen, as long as I have a place where I can shower,
yeah,
like I could fucking just do that.
And I eat, you know what I mean? And if they know how to make some money. Imagine they just have all their money in stocks and they just, like, you know?
They're like millionaires in fucking Bitcoin, but they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna ride this out until, like,
that's hilarious.
Until, like, Bitcoin becomes like the fucking main dollar, and then I'll be a gazillionaire.
That's crazy, bro. Because there are people who like they're not on drugs, they're not on anything, bro.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're just like, they just know how to survive. You know, they just have something over their head.
That is true, man. That's what happened to me. The landowner died, and like the agreement that they like my parents had, and then it was like all a spoken agreement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they kicked us out and they refurnished everything, and like for them it's like a business. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, I put out this much
how
money.
heartless is that? You know what I mean?
I mean, we lost everything. You know what I mean? We were almost gonna like be out of the area.
That's what I'm saying. Like
out of the area and shit. Yeah, it was shitty. That's why I want to make a lot of money and buy them out.
That's so fucking.
But dude, like honestly, where I'm living right now,
housing is just a business, and business is very like heartless. You know what I mean? Yeah. And housing shouldn't be a heartless thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't be so fucking like crazy. It shouldn't like they shouldn't raise the rent so fucking much. It shouldn't be so expensive. But like that's the thing. LA itself is an expensive land, bro. Like this is South California is expensive as shit because of the like film industry, because of the ocean, because of just like, you know, the value that everyone has for it. It's just like hella expensive.
Yeah, and then we're just supposed to move out somewhere.
And then like people were like, well,
we're just supposed to fucking get a job somewhere else.
Well, honestly, like own it, like the best time to do it was to own property here, like a long ass time ago.
Yeah, like literally,
like own when it was affordable. Like if you had a house, like Randy and all of them, they own that shit. You know,
dude. Well, Randy's mom doesn't own it, but like I mean, they're paying it off though. Actually, you know, I guess they do own it, but they're paying it off. You know what I mean?
Exactly, but like they made it a deal when the market in this area was low, because every market area in this area. Honestly,
Steven's mom literally owns that house. Like
it is really, when they say gentrification, that is really a true thing, because this area has always been here, but it's only until like recently, like white hipsters like decided like this area was like, oh, cool and quaint, like the next like Echo Park. So like, and they raised the property value here because they were able to like, you know, like create businesses that were just like, you know, brought in like those like people, because it was like a low key spot, you know, like it's Instagram.
That's why they
exactly. Yeah, it used to be like because it used to be like fucking like Hispanic gangs, all Hispanic gangs here.
But then that shit, those gangsters grew up or went in jail, and like there's new gangs, but you know what I mean. They're gonna get, but now they're, you know what I mean, not enough to scare off the hipsters, you know.
But like honestly, it was them that kind of ruined like this area.
They did, yeah.
It was that kind of made this area like it just made it so low, like it's like a stock. It's like so low that it was like, oh my god, of course this is an affordable place. You know what I mean?
That's why all the we buy homes. It's like, hell yeah, bro, we'll buy your home now because this is a fresh market right here.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's nuts, man.
And then, like, the reason why the gangs are here is because of, like, all the drug activity.
Yeah.
And all the drug trade, the illegal drug market. That was just, you know, it could have been legalized and made, like, legal, like, regulated or some shit, you know. But, like, for some reason, the government chose that, no, we got to commit to this war on drugs. We got to extend the policing. We got to incarcerate a bunch of people for long periods of time. And we got to just stop this illegal trade. And just drug is just like any market. It's just a trade, you know. There's a supply and demand. There's like systems to get drugs here. And, you know, it's a black market. So it's like there's no agreement like by law. So it's like very dangerous, because it's like, oh, if you fuck up on a deal or whatever, it costs you, like, instead of like going to jail or taking it to the law, it like costs you your life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
It's just, you know, it's really like what is chosen to be like sold at a supermarket and what isn't, you know what I mean?
That's the thing, like, we don't have 100% freedom of choice, because it's like it's more of just
what the government chooses us,
exactly, and then that's what we have to choose.
Like we barely got legal. Beer has always been legal. Fucking cigarettes have mainly been legal. And it's like my cousin tells me, because like he's like older than me and he wanted to like make money off like weed and shit. But he was like, man, they only made it legal when they were ready to make money. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like only for the white man to make money.
Yeah.
And that's true because, like, if drugs were legal,
they only did it once paper companies were already going out of business. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So they're like, well, we need to make money off of something, so we're gonna make weed legal.
That's crazy, bro. Because paper companies they went out of business because of phones and TVs and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like then everything was like letters and shit like that. But now they're like almost obsolete. I don't want to say obsolete, but you hardly use papers the way you used to. Back then. So it's like they're like, oh, now let's make it legal because it's like fuck it.
It was really the war on drugs that destroyed this community and like black community, and like that's what made the market lower, so like people can invest and make these fucking housing developments.
Do you think they did that on purpose?
Yeah,
imagine,
definitely.
And they told their kids like, yo. So make sure, like, around this year or so, just be like around 2000.
The kids are fucking stupid, man. They did it themselves, bro. Like, it's all the fucking, like, people who have, like, real estate companies and shit that, like, fucking did it themselves. Like, dude, like, it's like the Great Depression. When the Great Depression happened, like, in the Roaring 20s, there was a lot of free trade. There was a lot, people were getting money. People were, like, doing their shit, And then, like, the Great Depression happened, and, like, everybody lost everything, and, like, land was so fucking dirt cheap that real estate companies and investors just bought a bunch and a bunch and a bunch. So when like the 50s happened, they just owned everything.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking weird. It's a fucked up.
Back then it was up to the person to build a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like people had like a choice to build a house here because they wanted to. Maybe they had to
they had to buy the supplies. They had to what I mean?
Maybe they had to buy the land. Because like manifest destiny, people going west. Like that land was still going to be owned by the government. So like eventually, like the government was just going to knock on your door and be like, "This is government land. Like you got to pay us to own here."
But there even used to be land like less than 100 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Let's say like 50 years ago, there was land out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now, like, everything's so tight right around here. Like I remember, there's this guy who was like 80 or something like that, who like he made most of his money, pretty much like San Pedro, that whole like this whole area. It was just empty lots. There's a lot like empty lots, like fucking as far as you can see for a while, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He bought like a shit ton, like he bought blocks, right? Like a bunch of blocks from like this to like here, like there, like on the map. He's just like, we just bought a shit ton of blocks, and then they just built properties. You get me? And then just sold them, and just like pretty much what is that area? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they create like districts. You get what I mean? Like areas where it's just like a bunch of homes, and it's like now that's what he did, and then that's pretty much like a bunch of people did that, and that's what led to now. There's like a bunch of homes.
Yeah.
But then now people are like there's people who buy homes and then they own the homes, and then there's people who like the bankers,
The bank owns every home.
When they have
the bank wants to own every home, yeah.
Yeah, and then once they get their hand on the home, then they have their hand on the home forever.
Because the bank, once they have the home, then they could like dictate how much it is and how much you pay for it.
The only way you could really have a home that's like just your home, I guess, you have to buy a property somewhere, right?
Make it
and build it. Right.
That's what this one dude did. I fucking did an Instacart delivery to like fucking like this mountain area. Like it was like up like Claremont. It's like up those mountains, bro. Like it was up a trail, bro. I literally like I went up to the highest peak of like the nicest houses, and like there's like this road opening. And I went through it, and it was like forest, bro. It's literally like there was one trail, one road.
I was scared as fuck.
Yeah, I was scared, bro.
I would have called the guy.
I would dude. I was terrified, bro.
I would have called the guy, and I would have said this. I said, "Hey,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm here at the end of the drive. I just want your shirt. You're not gonna kill me, right?" Like, dude, I've been hearing too many creepypastas, bro. You're not, and then like depending on how he reacts, because if he laughs, and then I'll be like, all right, I feel safe. But if he's like, no, just come on down, like then I'd be like,
not only that,
no, I'm gonna stay right here, sir.
but the motherfucker ordered on Instacart, and you can't. And he wanted cigarettes, and you can't order cigarettes on Instacart. So he was like, "I'll give you $100 if you buy me 100 cigarettes." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, bro. I'm not gonna spend $100 just to give you like 100 cigarettes, just so you can give me back $100. Like, dude, what the fuck, like." Like, hell no, bro. Like, Instacart gotta pay extra for an item. Bro. Exactly. Yeah, it won't cost 100 exactly. I'll charge like at least 120 or like.
They probably did sell cigarettes.
No, they did, bro. And I bought one carton for him because I was like, oh, they only got one left. So, no, I only got $10. So I only got 100. Yeah. So I'll buy one for him. So I only bought one for him. But like, dude, he had like this literally a homemade, like with his hands, bro. He made like a little house in the forest, and it's like this little area, this little residential area. There's like houses and shit. Yeah. He made that shit, and I could tell it was made because it looked like it was made. It was like small, and like the door was barely like high enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like everything just like it was proportionally right, but like not really. You know what I mean?
It's just proportionate to him.
To him, exactly. And it was just, and like I brought it all inside, and it was just like a living room and like a kitchen and shit. And I was like, bro, did you make this? He said, yeah, I built it with my own hands. And I was like, dude, whatever you did, like, I want to do that, like, one day, you know? I want to build something with my own hands, you know? And it could be mine, it could be free. Like, that's what America should be, bro. That's what America was supposed to be.
That's what they should teach in school. That's another thing. They should learn how to teach people, like, how to make blueprints to make a house.
To make shit for themselves,
to make things, bro. Because,
like, I'm down to not live in LA if I can make my own house,
if I could make my own property and not have to, like, and it's mine, you know, it's a sacrifice. I'll have a studio in here, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what people should do. You know, like, if people want change, they should put their, really, where their money with their mouth is. Like, a group of people should get, like, their money together and just buy land from the bank, and they build their houses there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, instead of one person doing it, like, oh, what a freak! Why is he doing that?
Then you own a whole cul-de-sac. Imagine.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys will all agree, it's like, okay, we're this is our freedom land. You know what I mean? Like, we all have our own properties right here. You know, we'll help each other build our shit. You know what I mean? But like, we're gonna be here. We're gonna be free. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, man. Dude, have you seen the houses that are built up on Thomas Hill now?
Nah.
Like, I'm telling you, they're literally taking out every single property like, dude, watch, there's gonna be houses on this hill too eventually. I'm telling you, bro. It's just whoever owns that shit, once they die, their kids, bro, they're gonna fucking make a bunch of houses right here, bro.
Oh, dude, man, I see fucking mountains sometimes driving, like, dude, I'm like, I want to buy that. Like, that land, you know what I mean? I see shit. I'm like, I want to buy that. I want to have a house.
Sometimes those pieces of land are for sale. Dude. There's pieces for land that are for sale. If you're driving to Magic Mountain and you look to your right, you'll see signs that say that this land is for sale. You know what I mean? And you could just buy land, and that's why some people buy land. They make a business of, like, whatever business they make out there, like paintball or fucking, you know, fucking. The thing is, that's the main one. That's the only one I went to.
It's just like, nothing can ever be yours. You can't really own anything. You know what I mean? That's just what it's leading up to. That's why people are like going to the metaverse and shit. Like, what if like the metaverse is like just something like to get people ready for, like, just in case like crazy shit happens.
To get them to, like, they're fine with just, damn, dude, I don't want that shit.
Yeah, me neither. Because that's like no ultimatum. You know, that's just like. Yeah.
I want to live long enough, but not. I want to live long, but not long enough to, like, where shit goes to shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to see it. I think I don't want to be an old guy. Be like, man, I remember what this land used to be.
Imagine the guy who, like, died in Poland the day before, like, the Nazis invaded. You know what I mean?
He thought like life was all fucking.
Yeah, like everything was so great, and he's like, "Oh, I died right here."
He was like, you know, like
sleep, just bliss.
He just died unknown. Yeah, man. You know, that's what like the rapture was. Like, God took all the people who believed him up. It's like, that's all the people who believe in God just like died.
All the Jews who don't.
Yeah, and all the people who don't.
They're gonna get burned.
They're gonna get raptured.
You're going to hell. Like, ah, this is not what I expected hell to be like.
Yeah, man. It's just fun. It's trickery, bro. It's tricks. It's tricks on you and tricks on me to get you to hate me and get me to hate you. It's trickery, you know. Instead of getting me and you to be friends, you know, as we should be discussing our ideas and getting to common ground, it's me on this side, you on that side, and for us to hate each other, and that's trickery.
I honestly feel that YouTube is gonna bring people conversations that you know what I mean. Like there are conversations I heard on YouTube that I never thought I'd be able to hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they have conversations, but like in front of an audience of like 200, and it's like, yeah, that's cool that they hear it, but I mean, dude, sometimes everyone needs to hear it, and as long as if they happen to come across it, that's cool. You know what I mean?
I think it's cool that like podcasts are like something cool that people listen to. You know
Even
what I mean?
like debates, like I remember like just hearing people there, because there's some people who debate where it's like all about just trying to like smear the other person, but then there's the actual debates where they're actually discussing ideas. Yeah. And they're like, well, what I would say with that is blah blah blah. And they're like, I agree, I see what you're saying there, but I disagree with that because blah blah. You know what I mean? And it's like they actually like have a discussion. They disagree at the end, but
they still had a
conversation. Those are my favorite conversations, bro.
Dude, and honestly,
literally the greatest conversation.
And it's funny about conversations because sometimes it's louder than music, bro. You know what I mean? Because like there are times where I'm at a traffic stop, and like the dude next to me is like playing music, like bumping it loud, and I have like something play like like a podcast,
but a really
good podcast that's talking about some real shit.
And you're in
and there are times where like I'm like, man, like this is louder than that, you know?
It is.
Because like this is actually saying real shit, and I could tell like people like are listening still, even though music's playing in the background.
Yeah,
like
there's some shit that's like I feel like everyone can tap in, like everyone just hears. You know what I mean? Like that's why like people do that, like get into crowds. You know what I mean? Because there's things that sometimes people will say and everyone just is like
agrees with.
Yes. Do you hear what this woman is saying? Yes. That's good, man.
I just feel like we've all been bamboozled. I just feel like we've all been misled. I got my letter right here.
Yeah. This is what I wish. I hope that media companies die soon. And that becomes like, it becomes more. That's why like YouTube. It's people are fighting for like even when it comes to like news. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's different types of news. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's, like people get their world news on YouTube from different types of sources. You know what I mean? And they're competing against each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's all about competition. I feel competition is quintessential to progress. Yeah. I mean?
Oh, dude, it does. It's what makes you better,
and that's why
it really does make you. It's what made the Beatles better because they needed the Rolling Stones to compete against them,
and even themselves.
Exactly.
Within themselves, bro. Yeah. They competed. Do you get me?
Yeah.
That's what got them so.
Lennon and McCartney, exactly.
Exactly. That's such a dynamic duo to compete with each other. You know what I mean? And not everyone is like that, bro. A lot of groups, they don't compete like that. They're just like come up with songs at their own pace, whatever. But one person will make a song and he's like, oh yeah? Well, here, I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? That's what made basketball good in the 80s. You get me? Competition, bro.
Good competition.
You know, it wasn't just one guy who's fucking great. You get me?
Yeah, man.
Because there was a guy like that who won 11 championships in a row, bro. Or 9. I forgot how many in a row, though.
Yeah.
Just in a row. 9 in a row,
that's
bro.
Insane.
Every year, bro. But
I mean, more, wanting better, you know?
Yeah, but just then everyone fucking, that made everyone in basketball super good, bro. Because they were just competing against each other, trying to outplay each other.
See, there's nothing wrong. Like, the competition's so healthy and so good, but people are like, competition's so evil, man. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like those people are super misled. That's what they really believe, man.
it's as evil as natural selection is evil.
Do you know what I mean? As a lion eating a gazelle. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
It's as evil.
I feel like you put it way better.
It's as evil as fucking lightning fucking striking the ground. You know what I mean? Man. It's just natural, bro.
It is what.
It's as evil as childbirth. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, like
the pain of That's
there is pain, bro, but there's also some beauty that comes out of that pain. You know, there's a life that comes out of that pain.
Morphing pain, bro.
There's fucking torturous pain, but it produces a human being with potential of life that could do so much.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? The same thing with like competition in the market. Potential to create products that could make everyone's life easier. You know, same thing. Competition, music, songs that are better
like is 100% important. I feel like it's very. And I feel like that just because there's always going to be an inequality, and if that's what that is evil, then that. But that's just one of those things. That's the yang of the yin, or whatever. You know what I mean? There's where there's a yang. You know what I mean?
There's always going to be an inequality, but just don't make it so like gouging. You know what I mean? Like the lower class in America should have still a greater the lower class should at least have at least a car, like a working car. You know what I mean?
Because the standard of living it like is just a car, a house,
a stable house, and maybe some bill problems, but at least you got some food. You know what I mean?
Some people, all their life is to work, right?
Exactly.
And then all of it goes straight to their house, straight to their car, straight to whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like that's it. You know what I mean? Instead of coming up with an idea, you know what I mean?
Well, some people don't even think they can come up with an idea. They don't even have an idea to come up with. Some people, some some people are just gonna be the electrician.
Yeah.
Maybe they could make their own company being an electrician, and instead of making $70K a year, make maybe $120K a year. You know what I mean? But
dude, that shit's risky too, man. Because I was working for a guy who owned his own pizza spot, right? And imagine he owned his own little fucking. It was a catering spot, right? And then he would just do weddings and shit like that. But he had to pay all the money. He had to pay the taxes. He had to
you know what, man? There's a risk in everything, but that's why in life
he wouldn't make that much, bro.
That's why in life it's very good to build a foundation, a loving foundation. You know what I mean? To build a family. You know what I mean? To hold you down for that risk. You know, there's something that beautiful when it comes with action, comes with love, it comes with perseverance, and just keep on doing it, man.
It's crazy how all that is so natural. It's
dude,
love, a man needing a woman is just so natural.
Love is very that song, Living on a Prayer. They had their hard times, you know, but they had each other. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's all that you have, bro. You know, that's really all that you have. You know what I mean? And if you have that, when I see young couples with a baby and shit, most people are oh man, they must be having it tough. But you know what? Mentally, they're probably way more grounded than a lot more than all of us. You know what I mean? They probably feel like they have a future. A lot of us don't feel like we have a future. You know what I mean?
There are some people are just they don't even think about the future. They're just going through life. They're going through the present. You know what I mean?
And you know what? When you have that love, you don't have to be a billionaire. You know, you could be content with $70K a year, living in an area that's
happy. That's ultimately what it's about.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
That's all I want is to be. That's why if I were able to just make money playing music, bro, I'd be happy. That's all I want to do. Make money playing music, bro.
Exactly. Just making a living. You know.
Should we head out?
Yeah, I'm down. But yeah, man, that was a good conversation. I'll still keep recording it.
I'm done to play some game. I fucking went straight to sleep last night, dude. I did no gaming. I wanted to game too, and I was just I turned on this, I was
I don't think I gamed much. I think I took a shower, fucking fell asleep.
Yeah, bro, because it was a good day. A lot of energy.
I was sweating a lot, man. I sweat so much, the sweat was in my eyes, bro. That's why I was fucking closing my eyes, because I literally couldn't wipe the sweat off my eyes because there was sweat on my fucking hand.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? So like I think when we do that shit, I'm gonna have a bandana.
It feel hot at a certain point.
Yeah, turn on.
That's why I feel like the weather now.
Turn on the AC for that shit.
Well, if we went like on a day like today, like the way the weather is today, it would have been better. It's just like
the weather is still like that. It's just
when it's hot, it's hot.
There's no ventilation in that room. There's an AC unit though. Like I turned it on. It was a little bit cooler towards the end.
Oh.
In the beginning, like especially when we got in there again, bro. When we were outside, we were just that was like stuffy. Like I'm kind of used to jamming like that because like my old garage was like that. I used to be in there for hours just like jamming and shit. So I kind of like that. Like that's the suck. You know what I mean? Like.
The grime.
You gotta love the suck, you know, because if you love the suck, nothing could bring you down, you know. Like this shit's awful, but I love this shit.
I played some grimy backyard shows, bro.
Yeah, exactly. You know the suck.
I played at a backyard show. There was no light, and then the only light they had was behind the band. You get what I mean?
Exactly.
And let me tell you, dude, that shit looked sick as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was like the light. There was just no light for some reason. Like I turned off. And there was just like this little like just powerful like for like when you're working on your car light.
Yeah.
And then just fucking they just had it behind the bed, and just everyone was in the pits. Like everyone was just being able to see like through the, you know what I mean? There's moments when you're in the pit, it was so dark. You know what I mean? And then you just go, you know what I mean? It was so sick, bro.
I wanna control the pit, bro. I wanna be on top of that, like on top of that, and just like what we're doing, what I'm saying is like moving these people. You know what I mean? I would love that, bro.
Feeling, bro.
I would want to work for that feeling, bro. I want to like I told you I wanted to show you the Will Smith lyrics and shit. Maybe I'll show you real quick. They're right there in my notebook. But I wrote all the lyrics down. I'll send it to you. I wrote all the lyrics down, and like where I wrote it down, like I'm gonna put like this, like the transitions, so it's like the chord changes. Like these are the cues where we switch.
Yeah.
And like so we can work it out when we jam out again. So we have like a real structure, you know.
We should have it like this, like so because there's different chord progressions, right? So we should have like CP1, like chord progression, like CP1, exactly, CP2, CP3, right? Because there's only like 3 chord progressions in that song, you know.
All right.
And then so like that'd be a good way to like separate it, you know what I mean?
I'll show you the lyrics, and maybe we could. I'll send you the thing. You'll listen to it, and maybe you could put the chords right there on the lyrics. So like we would know like, okay, this is the intro. Then I start saying this, and by the time I say this, the next line, and that's the chord change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like the measures we'll figure out with Tony when we jam out with him.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, the recording we had is really fucking good for like an outline of how like at least the drums, how the flow should be. Yeah. Like I want to bring that all the while. Yeah. I want to incorporate that.
Yeah, incorporate that. Yeah,
I want to incorporate that. Yeah. Exactly.
It's because I don't think we discussed it a lot, but not with Tony as much.
I really do feel like Tony felt it so much that he literally led the whole thing, but like
that was good because we wanted him to like. We didn't want to like be like, all right, you're doing great. Now let's give a suggestion, like make him think that we're not appreciating what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because that was a good like.
That was really good, dude. That was really good way he led it. He is a drummer, bro. He is a good drummer, man.
Yeah, he
like
is,
a really good. He knows where to take shit. Yeah,
it's just about like
what
it's just all about the practice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More practice, the more, and then like you could tell it's just like now when he's listening to music, now he's gonna be focusing just a little more on the drums. You know what I mean?
We should hang out with him to just talk about, not even jam out, just to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man, dude, that shit's sick.
That is sick, man. Fuck yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, like, this Will Smith song is pretty good. I'm going to look at you, too. I'm going to write it down, too. That one song, Wandering Child, I'm going to write down all the lyrics. I don't think you did that chord change when we jammed out this time.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I did. Because that's the thing with Wandering Child. Yeah. I only remembered the first part, and then I was like, I forgot that's why I wanted to hear it before.
Exactly, yeah. We will work on that one for next week. Because we really were working on Will Smith and you too.
Yeah, that was the two main ones that, like, I was just like...
Which is good, because we did a lot of songs, you know. We should break it down like that. As well as the other jams we made. Yeah, man. Unless you want to see those lyrics real quick, or like at least where like it is. Oh, here it is. Look. So like these two lines, I was thinking like was more of like an intro with just the keys, just the keys and the vocals, and by the time there is like, ah,
In the back?
yeah, it's right here. Or the pizza. Look, I got
I'm trying to find the cat.
Look, I got the fucking cheeses and the peppers right there. Dude, look at it though.
Wait, why does it feel like there's nothing inside?
Because there isn't. No, I'm just kidding. Because I ate it all. No, I'm just kidding.
What the fuck?
What?
I thought you got me the other one.
Which one?
You said it was a deep dish.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to get, but then I decided to give you that one because that one's better. Why? That one's the better one. Well, fuck you, nigga. Give me that shit back. That was the better piece in there. That's funny, man. But yeah, so like the intro will be playing. Should I play the song? Yeah.